Hi guys, it's finally time for Sketchfest Week 3 wrap up, so I'm going to go through all the shows we saw in Week 3, which was the most shows of all the weekends. First up was Riff Tracks Night of Shorts. Riff Tracks is from the guys that did Mystery Science Theater 3000. For this night they were working on a bunch of short educational films from both the 50s, I believe, and the 70s, and it was hilarious. Next was the tribute to Weird Al. This had guests of Chris Hardwick, Garfunkel and Oates, Hard and Firm, and Jonah Ray. And Weird Al himself was there. There were a few songs that were performed, but it was also a lot of discussion on Weird Al's history because Chris Hardwick was there and he's very comedic, and him and Weird Al are friends. It was really funny and really enjoyable and great. It was a really great night. I've liked Weird Al for a while because my brother really liked Weird Al, and of course, like an annoying little sister, I just would like stuff he liked. Next was the Nerdist podcast, and this is like the podcast that got me into podcasts, and this was my third live show, and we had front row center seats, which was awesome. This one didn't have any guests, it was just a hostful, as they call it. So it was just with Chris Hardwick, Jonah Ray, and Matt Myra, and it was hilarious. Really enjoyed it, and glad I finally got to go to a live show again, because the last live show I went to was in 2012. Actually, both of the other live shows I've been to were in 2012. Next was a combo show of the Jordan Jesse Go podcast with my brother and me podcast. Now, I had only before listened to Jordan Jesse Go, and I really enjoy that. I really enjoy Jordan Morris and Jesse Thorne both individually and together, so it was really fun being at a live show and actually seeing them in person. I never heard of the other podcast, My Brother and Me. Basically, it's three brothers and they do a lot of answering of Yahoo questions and answering of audience questions, and it was pretty funny. And now I have subscribed and have that on my podcast listening queue. Next show was kind of a two-parter, so we went to part 1 on Saturday and then part 2 on Sunday, and that was the Benson Interruption, Twilight, Breaking Dawn, parts 1 and 2. This is hosted by Doug Benson and then has a panel of other comedians come, and they sit in the front row of a movie theater, of a packed movie theater. This one was at the Castro. They just riff on Twilight. I don't think I could ever watch a Twilight movie the same way ever again because it was fantastic. Doug Benson had seen him before, but most of the other comedians had never even seen a movie, and so to come in on Breaking Dawn part 1 or part 2, either or, there were some interesting scenes in there, which was great. My favorite part of that, I guess spoilers for Twilight, if that's a thing, is when in the movie there's that fighting scene and where everyone fights and like they all die between them and the Vittori, and like everyone's dying and like the earth splits open, the heads are like comically coming off, and then it flashes back into nothing has happened, and the look on the comedian's face is just like, what like all of that, like 10 minutes of whatever for nothing. It was, that was great. Another show I finally got to see live was the Thrilling Adventure Hour, and this is a old-timey radio show that's usually done in Los Angeles once a month, and it's also put out as a podcast, and I really enjoyed that podcast, and it was really cool seeing it live and seeing them read through the scripts live. My favorite characters like Sparks Nevada. I was really glad to see that live. And finally, the last show that we went to was a live podcast of Jonah Radio. Now, this was the most intimate of the Sketchfest shows. There was basically 15 audience members in the basement of a video store, and it was just like any other episode of Jonah Radio. If you've ever listened, you've probably never listened to Jonah Radio, but I really enjoy it. they're just funny goofballs, and with some music talks and riffs. And the guest was Paul Myers, and he's gratefully Canadian, and so there was good Canada discussion, and it was a great time, and really didn't expect that venue to be that small, which was kind of awkward at first, but it was just great to see that take place live. That's all of Sketchfest 2015. It was a fun time, and I'm not sad that it's over. It was a really fun while it lasted, but it's nice to kind of have a weekend to myself. Definitely will try to go next year to as many shows as possible. Hopefully I'm still living close enough to San Francisco. I really suggest checking out Sketchfest, and next year when the schedule comes out, there's probably something that you'll enjoy. I found it a lot of sciencey things were there. It's a really good time, and it's run by really great people, and we just had positive experience all around. Even the lines you had to wait on for general admission shows were not bad at all. And